2 billion shillings, if we are to believe the Deputy President. DP Rigathi Gachagua says protests cost Kenya 2 billion shillings in revenue. Given that Raila Odinga has said every Monday tukutane kwa barabara, do we have the luxury of time?
Clearly, we don't have the luxury of time. And like I said in the beginning, if the psyche of a protester is that I want to be heard. Now, when you barricade roads and do all those things and hinder me from moving, it means there's something you're stopping me from. And so if this is allowed, assuming there's a protest again next Monday, allow them to do the petition. Allow them to, they were planning to meet at KICC. Allow them to meet at KICC. It's a short distance from KICC to what is it called? To State House. Allow them to give their petition. And then those protests stop. So that you say, well, we've received your petition, we are reviewing something. But what a protester wants is, I want to go home feeling they had me, I even presented my petition, it was picked. That's enough. Because then that way we stop any excuse that, let me say excuse that opposition then will use to say we are doing another one on Monday. But point is, it's a fact that people are hungry, and we definitely do not have the luxury of time. When we sit in our homes, it's easy for us to say, these guys can wait. But I have not slept hungry. God has privileged me and blessed me. I'm able to provide food for my children. But not everybody is in the same scale as I am. And so that person might not be as patient as I will be to wait for the president to get things moving and working. I always say, when you take care of the most vulnerable, then you are safer than starting with up here. Then number two, we've had the challenges of the Deputy President making some utterances, and I've been on this show before, and I've said I wish he cannot speak certain things. And when he mentioned the issue of company, Kenya being a company, and the shareholders, the ones who have more shares, will get more than those who don't have, then it makes other Kenyans feel like, okay, since I didn't vote for this guy, and remember, the voter turnout was very poor. And so when you look at the numbers, you realize more people did not vote than the people who voted, or rather who voted for the government. So some utterances by our politicians need to stop, so that the country is not volatile, so that we actually actualize where, and especially when it comes from the second in command, so that we actualize the presidents. And I kept on saying that sometimes I feel like he's shooting the president in the foot, because I don't hear the president talking the way the deputy president speaks. Mheshimiwa here mentioned the women. When we have these challenges going on every week, women suffer most. When we have hunger in the land, it is children. The children run to the mother for food. They hardly, in fact, in my house, my children ask, Mommy, what are we eating today? They don't ask. They won't ask a man. They will ask the mother. So mothers are feeling the pinch more. If they were to come out and protest, women are feeling the pinch more. To the president, God has given him the mandate, if we were to go that route, to run this nation, to be in the place of authority for all Kenyans, not for some Kenyans, not for Kenya Kwanza Kenyans, but for all Kenyans, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. I pray that he exercises the wisdom of Solomon, or asks God for the wisdom of Solomon, not to hear the noises of left, right, and center, because you will always have your people who are like, you have to put your stand down, you are the man. But this is not the time to flex muscles. This is the time to call, and now I'm going back to the statement, that it is time to have a conversation. If you don't want handshake, put it there on that conversation and say, hey, you guys, even as you come, handshake is not on the table. That doesn't stop him from having a dialogue. That doesn't, the fact that somebody might want a handshake or not should not stop dialogue from happening, because we are cognizant of the fact that the most vulnerable in our country are suffering. And for only that reason, we are having this conversation. And that can be laid on the table and have a conversation and move this nation forward. We don't have the luxury of time. If Maandamano goes on for 6 months, then what? What is going to happen? And while people are in their rightful position to say, wait a minute, until I can afford to eat ugali, which is supposed to be the cheapest meal to put on the table, ugali and skuma, then I still am challenged. Yeah, because you just need water and some, you know, and you're able to cook a meal for your children or even make porridge, you know. So I pray that the president will lead as a man who is leading all Kenyans, and ask God to give him wisdom to speak for all Kenyans, not some Kenyans.